Hi, my name is Lucas Collegian, and in this presentation I will be breaking down Macbeth using different weather events and phenomena to show how each character brings their own kind of chaos, pressure, or change into the story. Shakespeare uses the weather all throughout the play to communicate the characters' feelings, the threats they pose, and the fall of the usual order. So each storm I picked matches a character and the impact they have on Scotland. I'll be showing how the witches start everything with a thunderstorm, how Macbeth turns into a tornado, how Lady Macbeth becomes a wildfire, and how characters like Banquo, Duncan, Macduff, and Malcolm fit into natural events like hurricanes, rainbows, blizzards, and earthquakes. By connecting each character to a different weather event, you'll see how every choice in Macbeth causes a reaction, just like sudden changes in weather cause huge storms. So let's start with the thunderstorm that begins the whole conflict. The first weather event is a thunderstorm. At the start of the play, three witches are discussing how they will meet Macbeth after the battle. The witches are like a thunderstorm. They arrive suddenly and make everything feel unsafe. The witches disrupt the natural order, creating tension and make you feel like something bad is about to happen even if nothing's happened yet. The witches' presence foreshadows danger. When the witches say fair is foul and foul is fair, it messes with the characters' heads and morality completely. Good is bad, bad is good, and Macbeth and Banquo don't know what to trust anymore. The witches spark Macbeth's ambition and desire for power. The line, "All hail Macbeth, thou shalt be king hereafter," is like lightning starting a fire. Once he thinks about being king, the prophecy makes him start thinking about murder. This storm sets off a chain reaction like Macbeth's tornado of ambition and the murder of Duncan. The witches totally mess everything up, and Shakespeare shows how fast stuff can go wrong when people give in to temptation. Macbeth's ambition is like a tornado. It starts small and just keeps growing and spinning out of control. At the start, it's just the thought of being king to him, but soon he can't stop thinking about it. That obsession pulls him into doing things he wouldn't normally do, such as killing King Duncan. That tornado of ambition spins out of control and starts destroying trust, loyalty, and relationships, and wrecks everyone and everything in its path. Macbeth is paranoid and worried, and everybody else around him suffers too. Lady Macbeth pushes him and makes that tornado of ambition stronger. She pushes him to act and questions and challenges his courage and manhood. When together, their ambition is too much, and they leave destruction in their path. Eventually, in the play, the tornado cannot be stopped, and it spirals into chaos when Macbeth commits more murders and reckless decisions. Soon, nothing about him or Scotland is safe. The quote, "Stars hide your fires, let not light see my black, deep desires," shows Macbeth's ambition starting to spiral, like the beginning of a tornado. Lady Macbeth's ambition spreads like a wildfire. She wants power so badly that she immediately reels Macbeth into it and makes him start thinking about doing terrible things, like killing King Duncan. Her influence spreads fast and affects everyone around them. She pushes Macbeth to murder Duncan. She attacks his courage and questions his manhood, making him feel like he has no choice but to follow her plan. This pressure fuels and feeds the wildfire even more. Her bad choices spread fast. She doesn't care about right or wrong, and soon everyone and everything around her starts falling apart. Nothing is safe from her influence. Eventually, the wildfire burns out. Lady Macbeth's guilt catches up with her, and she spirals into madness and distress, showing that even the strongest storms can't last forever, and everything eventually collapses and falls apart. The quote, "Look like the innocent flower, but the serpent under it," shows her manipulative, burning intensity that spreads fast like a wildfire. Banquo is calm like the eye of a hurricane. He looks steady and calm on the outside, but there's a lot of tension, pressure, and anger building around him. People feel it even if he stays composed and acts like there's nothing wrong. He stays morally strong and resists the witch's temptation. Unlike Macbeth, Banquo doesn't let the idea of power and success make him do bad things, which makes him a clear example of integrity. Banquo poses a threat to Macbeth's future. The prophecy says Banquo's kids will inherit the throne, and Macbeth gets paranoid and annoyed because of it, showing how even a calm storm can create fear. Even after Banquo dies, he still influences what happens to Macbeth. His ghost at the banquet reminds Macbeth of his crimes and keeps the chaos alive, and show him what he has done and makes him feel guilt of himself, showcasing that the hurricane hasn't passed yet. Duncan is like a rainbow because he represents peace and stability. Whenever he's around, things feel calm and safe, like the kingdom actually has a chance to be normal. His kindness brings harmony to Scotland. He rewards loyalty, trusts people, and tries to create unity, which makes the whole kingdom feel brighter. Macbeth completely destroys this hope. The second Duncan is murdered, that rainbow moment disappears, and everything instantly goes dark, showing how fragile peace really is. After the rainbow has vanished, chaos takes over Scotland. The storms, the violence, the paranoia, it all shows how Duncan's death wipes away the last bit of goodness the country had left. The quote, "Signs of nobleness like stars shall shine on all deservers," shows Duncan's goodness, fairness, and the sense of peace he brings. Macduff is initially portrayed as a cold and distant figure, very much like the early phases of a blizzard. From the very start, he doesn't trust Macbeth, and you can slowly feel the tension growing around him. When he learns that Macbeth is the one who killed his family, everything freezes over. His sadness becomes rage, and that emotional snap is what turns the cold into a full storm. Macduff becomes the force that shuts Macbeth down. He is with the same power as a blizzard in the whiteout conditions such as relentless, focused, and impossible to stop once he's moving. Justice is restored when the blizzard finally ceases. By taking out Macbeth, Macduff not only clears the storm over Scotland, showing how sometimes destruction is needed to bring peace back. The quote, "I must also feel it as a man," shows Macduff's cold grief turning into deadly purpose like the emotional freeze before the storm hits Macbeth. Malcolm's entry is like a series of small earthquakes, quiet, unsure, and not making a big impact at first, but underneath he's paying attention, learning, and getting ready for the moment he has to step up. His confidence grows gradually as he exposes Macbeth and pulls people to his side. This is where the shaking starts, because Malcolm's growth puts pressure on Macbeth's lies and breaks the illusion of his power. Malcolm shakes the very ground of Scotland by leading the forces that confront and fight against Macbeth. His return forces everyone to face the truth, and the country finally starts cracking away from Macbeth's control. The ascendance of Malcolm totally brings down the reign of Macbeth. Once Malcolm takes charge, the unstable structure Macbeth built finally falls, showing that the earthquake was necessary to rebuild Scotland. The quote, "Let every soldier hew him down a bow and bear it before him," shows Malcolm leading the army. The ground starts shaking as he becomes the force that destroys Macbeth's rule. To sum everything up, Macbeth has demonstrated how chaos spreads just like the extreme weather. Every character I talked about has their own storm, and each one affects the world around them in a different way. The witches bring confusion, Macbeth brings destruction, Lady Macbeth brings pressure, and characters like Banquo and Duncan bring moments of calm before everything collapses again. In the end, Scotland only starts to recover when characters like Macduff and Malcolm finally stop the storm that Macbeth created. Shakespeare shows that the one choice can start a chain reaction, and just like weather, it can grow into something nobody can control. That's how the events in Macbeth connect to these weather events, and how the whole story becomes one huge storm from the beginning to end.